Sexual assault is an issue that seems to be on every university's radar, including the University of Virginia's. With the introduction of UVA's new sexual assault awareness campaign, Who's Got Your Back, the issue is on students' minds as well. We at WUVA wanted to take a look at how the university has dealt with students who have committed to serious offenses. What we found may surprise you. Dean Nicole Oramo has been chair of the Sexual Misconduct Board since 2007. When we sat down with her, she addressed many of students' concerns, namely the issue of expulsion.
I think that for every case of sexual misconduct that comes through, we always consider whether or not a student should remain in the community. And I think that we are considering those severe punishments, absolutely.
It has never in your time here been?
Not an expulsion, but I think a 2-year suspension with requirements to return is quite a stiff penalty.
It's an honor offense just like anything else. It breaks the community of trust, and I don't see how you can have a trusting community where something like sexual assault goes unpunished and people are allowed to stay here when they've just blatantly, disregarded the boundaries of other students and taken advantage of them. So I feel very strongly about that.
From WUVA, I'm Catherine Valentine.
When it was established in 1825, the University of Virginia was absolutely a place that Black people were not supposed to be, unless they were workers or slaves. Today, almost 200 years later, slavery and segregation are long gone. But that sense that Black people do not belong is still here.
Someone was in the Zoom chat talking about how Thomas Jefferson wasn't in favor of slavery. And I, being the only Black girl in the class, had to say that that's actually not true.
I'm Hannah Leachman. And I'm Elisa Maiolo. 10 of these 24 tenants came forward to speak with us about their symptoms on camera. The scope and similarity of the illness was only revealed when Emma Wayne went home for winter break, still sick, and her mother grew alarmed.
Her cough just progressed to this very deep sort of bronchial, phlegmy, nothing I had ever heard her have before. I mean, all of our kids get sick and they have coughs and it was just a very deep, almost barking sort of sound.
Coronavirus.
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 Yeah.
Coronavirus. The coronavirus.
Coronavirus.
Corona.
From 2 continents and 4 states, this is who we are.
My name is Heather Thomas, and I'm quarantined in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Hi, my name is Karen Kern, and I'm reporting from Northern Virginia.
Hi, my name is Meryl Carlton, and I'm quarantining in Miami, Florida.
I'm Jamie Bullock, and I am in Johannesburg, South Africa.
This is Spring Broken, College on COVID.
I'm Kira Min, WUVA News, on grounds at the site where the memorial to enslaved laborers is currently under construction.
What is this memorial trying to accomplish?
Remembering, acknowledging, and honoring the lives of the approximately 4,000 enslaved workers who lived or worked here at the university.
This past Saturday, Charlottesville witnessed the removal of Confederate statues that incited white nationalist violence 4 years prior. Councilor Snook hopes that Virginia will serve as an example to other cities to take action to remove symbols affiliated with prejudice and racism.
It's a magnet for people who hate. We need them gone.
Over the past few months, news headlines have been dominated by the topic of critical race theory. Impassioned debates across the country are asking what role this way of thinking plays in K-12 classrooms. Mineo believes that the teachings of critical race theory are too singularly focused.
Racism should be discussed, right? But it can't be discussed from a singular perspective. It's not just white people in this country that hate blacks and everybody else. And that's the narrative they try to draw and paint, and it's far from the truth.
I'm Nicole Chang from WUVA. I'm here with Henry Hull, the Historic Preservation Project Coordinator, and he will be showing us the most recent updates of Alderman Library. Could you tell us a little bit more about the history of this room and the new features that'll be included?
Sure. The McGregor Room is one of our most cherished rooms at Alderman Library. It was actually the first renovation of the library. The library was finished in 1937. And in 1938, the Tracy McGregor collection came to the library. So with that came all of the walnut floors and the walnut millwork that surrounds this room. We actually had to remove about half of that millwork for structural upgrades along the west side of the room.
Alderman is one of the most well-known names at UVA. His name is on UVA Central Library and on one of the most used roads on grounds. But President Alderman also enacted changes that would contribute to the Commonwealth of Virginia's racist policies for nearly 100 years.
UVA's website does not mention that part of his legacy.
The protest movement against gun violence at UVA is continuing to grow, with students already coordinating rides online to attend the National March for Our Lives in Washington, D.C. on March 24th. For WUVA News, I'm Yahya Abu Ghazala.
The inaction of the federal government on this has been appalling. But if it's up to you all, I think we got a chance.
I'm Matt Newton, WUVA News, at Old Cabell Hall, the stage of the Presidential Ideas Festival, hosted 3 weeks ago by the University Miller Center of Public Affairs. I sat down with the center's director, Bill Antholis.
So President Bill Clinton came and gave the keynote address to end the whole event. What do you think his message was, with regards to our current president, but also maybe a message to send to American voters when they're looking at the early field of candidates for the election in 2020?
Well, it's a great question, and you really did a great job of capturing the core of President Clinton's address. What I think he was getting at is that this is an ongoing effort that every generation will continue to do to deepen and expand the definition of we the people.
I'm Kira Min, WUVA News, here with the Charlottesville Albemarle Rescue Squad, a volunteer rescue organization comprised mostly of UVA students.
Nothing, and I absolutely mean nothing, feels better than being able to know that you helped somebody and that you saved a life.
The use of slave labor to build and serve the academical village is a central part of UVA's past. Yet few of these spaces have a personalized commemoration of that history. Today, we take a closer look at Hotel A and how nothing around the building mentions what it was originally used for. The basement has since been renovated, with the kitchen and sleeping quarters becoming the office spaces for history professor Brian Owensby and anthropology professor Richard Handler.
It's a privilege to have this office, but I feel we occupy it with respect for the people who worked here before. I'm using this space to teach some of our students about the injustices that make our own privilege possible.
The Miller Center's decision to hire Mark Short, a former Trump administration official, was criticized widely across the university. 2 professors even resigned from the center over the appointment. We sat down with Mark Short to hear what he brings to UVA.
The university should welcome a diversity of opinion and diversity of ideas. I think that fosters debate from which people can learn. And if you're trying to shut down a particular point of view, then I think the only ones who lose are the students.
We are saying in this letter of resignation is wake up, colleagues at the University of Virginia, wake up, students. We really do believe that the Trump administration poses a fundamental threat to basic value.
On the evening of August 11, 2017, a large group of white nationalists gathered here on the lawn, chanting white supremacist and Nazi slogans. The Unite the Right rally continued on into the next day, resulting in one of the most violent gatherings in the United States. There is no doubt that the events that took place here 5 years ago today left a lasting impact on the country, the University of Virginia, and Charlottesville. So, in the countless interviews you have done since 2017, you have talked about the racism and hatred present in Virginia and in this country. What are your thoughts on the conditions of Charlottesville and America today?
It looks to me like we're still fighting a lot of the same issues, though. Fair housing, fair application of the law, fair employment. I'm still seeing all the same issues.
Every year, Thomas Jefferson's Monticello hosts a ceremony that celebrates America's Independence Day and naturalizes new American citizens.
This day is not about fireworks and hot dogs only. It's not just about, oh, we get a day off and I could have fun with my family. This day is about what America means.
Perilous fight o'er the
If you were the president of any other university, what would it be?
I don't know. It's not a university, but I would be president of Hogwarts.
Oh, that's a good answer. Oh my God, I cannot believe you do this every month.
Well, we kind of do it every day.
Every day. Oh my God. Every day. You run every day?
Yeah, every day.
From WUVA, I'm Jess Miller. This is Yesterday Morning, This Afternoon. Today's guest is Professor Larry Sabato, Director of the Center for Politics of Virginia. Mr. Sabato, thank you so much for being with us today. Now, you founded the Center for Politics here at UVA, and you've become very ingrained in the UVA culture. So be honest, did you found the Center for Politics just to pad your resume?
How did you know? How did you? You're the
I
first
had a
person
sneaky
who's
suspicion
guessed that.
you've been here a long time.
Well, I had a line open at the bottom and it was conspicuous.
Sure.
So I thought this would be perfect. And UVA Center for Politics is short.
Yeah.
Founded UVA Center for Politics.
Exactly.
Bigger print still fits.
Hey, it makes a lot of sense. We all do it.
We all do
We've all
it.
been
We
there.
all have to do it.
Can I get a vibe check?
A vibe check.
A vibe check.
The vibe that I'm feeling today, calm, placid.
No, a vibe check from me.
Oh, what vibe am I getting from you? Anxious.
How did your family feel when you went from being a successful lawyer to a man whose claim to fame is high-fiving 20-year-olds?
Concerned for their financial future.
Does Brooks Brothers sponsor your wardrobe, or is it more of a personal choice?
While I enjoy their clothes, it's a personal choice.
Yikes.
The abundance of redheads at UVA has led two students to create an Instagram page titled Gingers of UVA. This account has reached nearly 2,000 followers in less than a year. What motivated you to start the Gingers of UVA Instagram?
Honestly, it just kind of started as a joke between us because we would walk around grounds like when we first got here. Like there's so many gingers. It would be so funny if we started an Instagram. And so we did. We really did not expect it to get that big, but it did. And we were like, this is crazy.
What do you think is the most overrated holiday song?
Ooh, Silver Bells.
Well, thank you for that insightful question. I think Jingle Bell Rock is an overrated holiday song. There is no place for rock in the holiday season.
Okay, fine. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. Only a hippopotamus will do. Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
Oh come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel.
You like that more than Jingle Bell Rock?
Yeah, Jingle Bell Rock is stupid.
Thing that I would add that's most important is it's way more work than it looks like, and Kim is an excellent horseman, and then it takes the right horse as well. And it's just, he puts a lot of time and effort into it. He feels responsibility to the university, and I think that's why he does it, because he really loves you.
You guys most excited about for today's game?
About keeping Virginia from becoming #1.
About beating the Hokies.
Turning him into turkey.
Tony makes a great point, though. Once the ball goes up in the air, you've got to be who you are. And you've got to be true to your identity. You've got to understand you've got to play to play. It's not about the rivalry then, it's about the next play.
What's the prize today if you make it?
$18,000. Let's go, baby.
Let's go. He's going to drill it. You practice?
I did. I took a couple shots down there. Nailed them both. Nailed them. Didn't miss one. Miss Williams, you have watched our Who's take home two national championships already this year, possibly a third coming this weekend, and now you're here at the ACC championship for the first time in UVA's history, well, football history.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
It feels great. I mean, it's hard to explain. It's a testament to our coaches, really, and our student athletes.
I think the first time I went to therapy, I was in 6th or 7th grade. And I don't remember a whole lot about that time, but I don't think I knew quite what was going on until I got to college and kind of was able to understand what mental health was. I think that I was just lacking that grasp, but I think it had been around since I was 10, 11 years old, whether it was me or somebody in my family.
I know the mindset probably doesn't change too much, but How do you approach, a new season, kind of an unprecedented new season, knowing that you'll be playing the season as defending champions?
Well, last year was an unprecedented season too. We were the only team to have been beat by a 16 seed as a 1 seed. And I think other teams have been defending national champs. It's the same in a way.
This past week, Ty Jerome and Driven Training hosted the first ever Ty Jerome basketball camp at Charlottesville High School.
I just hope they have a good time, especially they're all so young, so if they can just fall in love with the game a little bit, that can go a long way.
What's your favorite part about going from playing with a bunch of 40-year-olds to playing with a bunch of 8-year-olds?
Just to see the joy on everyone's face, just makes me remember when I was a young kid like that and just having a great time playing the game.
For years now, the University of Virginia's Counseling and Psychological Services, also referred to as CAPS, has struggled to provide UVA students with timely mental health support. To address this issue, UVA's CAPS has now added a new form of free 24/7 mental health support called Timely Care.
Our support comes from our providers being available at all times. Crisis usually doesn't happen during a 9-to-5 work hour. That just doesn't happen. Being able to schedule a counseling session at 11 o'clock at night, if that's when you get off of work, is unique.
I am currently standing at the Black bus stop in front of Monroe Hall. While unknown by many, this used to be the heart of Black culture at UVA.
As many alumni reflect on their experience at the Black bus stop, many still wonder what led to the emergence of the Black bus stop and why was it viewed as the center of the Black community at UVA.
I would describe the Black bus stop as a gathering place for African American students at UVA at a time when there was something approaching a critical mass of Black students at UVA, but at the same time, many of them had the experience of isolation being at a predominantly white university.
Hello and welcome to the second episode of WUVA's Guide to Grounds. I'm your host, Emily Graffio, and in this episode, we'll be looking at different housing options for first-year students. Before we get started, it's important to know that every dorm is different, and no matter where you end up, you're gonna love where you live. So what's one thing that you really like about living in Gooch Dillard?
Oh my goodness. The bathrooms here, they're off the charts. They're nuts.
Really?
It's really convenient just being downstairs and everything. It's a lot nicer. I got a lot of people jealous of my bathroom.
So thank you so much for letting us come in your room. It looks awesome. What's the best part about living in old dorms?
Definitely the community is very unique. You really get to meet a lot of people living in old dorms.
And I hope you're hungry because today we're looking at the dining halls. Right now I'm standing in one of the 3 main dining halls on grounds. This one is called O Hill. It's conveniently located right next to new dorms into typical swipe-in all-you-can-eat dining hall. We now find ourselves at Runk, known by many of the students as the best dining hall here at UVA. It just underwent renovation in 2017, so everything is brand new, and even though it's a little bit of a farther walk away from Central Grounds, you should really come check it out. I hope this video has given off a good impression of all the dining options available here on grounds. From all of us at WUVA, bon appetit.
Favorite UVA tradition?
Streaking the lawn?
Probably streaking the lawn. Streaking the lawn.
Can I say streaking the lawn? Is that allowed?
Could you tell us a little bit about your grad cap?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Sacramento, California, and the movie Lady Bird was based on that. And so at the end she says, Sacramento gave me roots and wings.
So I figured I would make a list of all the things that culminated my 4 years here and stick them on my grad cap.
It's halftime We're 32-29 at the half. Ty Jerome sunk that three in the last 3 seconds of the game. It's been intense. Let's see what's happening.
The boys need to slow down. They need to slow down.
There's about 4 minutes left. It's really stressful. We're in the lead, but not by much. My heart has never been racing this fast.
You got this. Listen to the coach. Stick by the plays. Don't let the pressure get to your head. You got this. You got this.